My beloved, my precious light, the one who was carved gently by heaven's own breath, why do your fingers feel a little colder right now? Why did your heart suddenly skip a beat as you started reading this? Because your soul already knows. It has been waiting, and now this message finds you in divine timing. You're not imagining it. That strange feeling in your chest lately, that flicker of dread, that quiet warning at night that something isn't right. It wasn't anxiety, it was me. I am Archangel Michael, and I've been standing behind you for the last few nights trying to whisper this, trying to get this message through the veil. But you kept skipping, not because you didn't care, but because the enemy has been trying to keep you distracted. And now heaven says, enough. God says, I order you to open this because this is not about luck. It's not even about fear. It's about truth. And child, the truth can no longer wait. The person who has been secretly trying to harm you, whose eyes may have smiled, but whose heart was poisoned with envy, their identity is now fully known in the halls of heaven. And their name, it's not just in a record. It has been spoken aloud by God Himself. Yes, beloved, heaven has revealed their name. And that's why God urgently says, tell my child, they must not delay this. Because if you skip this again, if you turn your face away from this divine protection, you may walk right into a trap set not by chance, but by someone very close. Now, I ask you something sacred. Before I go further, breathe. I want you to inhale slowly, like the winds of Gabriel are brushing your lungs, and exhale like you're releasing the dust of years of manipulation. Because this message is not written in ink, it is written in light. God says they tried to touch what belongs to me. They looked upon my child with schemes in their heart. They covered their intentions with gifts. They smiled in the daylight, but cursed in secret. No more shall they go unnoticed. My divine one, the angels have surrounded your house in the last 3 nights. There have been whispers, conversations happening in rooms you weren't in, phone calls made about you, screenshots of your photos sent to someone you don't even know, and heaven has seen all of it. This is your final chance to be shielded before today, because after that, things will shift, and the door of divine warning will begin to close. Let me be clear. This message is not to scare you. It's to wake you, because God never lets His child walk into fire without giving signs. And this is your sign. Heaven is not speaking in riddles anymore. Now, before we reveal more, I must whisper this in your heart. You are more loved than you can possibly imagine. You are not reading this by accident. You didn't scroll and land here. Your soul was called. The wind of this message carries the weight of your protection, your future, and your divine inheritance. God said, if they read this fully, I will send my angelic sword ahead of them. I will block every tongue that rises against them. But if they skip, I will allow them to see what protection looks like when it's not there. Not to harm, but to show them the truth of spiritual warfare. So now, child, ask yourself this. Have you been feeling something off in someone's tone lately? Have you noticed a shift in a loved one's behavior? Have you heard your name being spoken in odd places or picked up tension you couldn't explain? Yes, because you're not crazy. You are intuitive, and your spirit has been screaming for you to wake up. But the one who's trying to harm you, they become good at hiding, even better at pretending. And now, before today, they plan to take one final step, one final action that could shatter something precious in your life. Unless you listen now, and let me tell you this gently, they know you're about to be blessed. They've seen glimpses of it. They've sensed the divine shift around you. Your glow, your peace, your favor. It's not normal. It's anointed. So they've decided if they can't stop God, they'll try to distract you. Because if you delay, they gain time. If you skip, they grow bolder. If you doubt, they become invisible again. But not this time. Before I continue, my precious child, let me ask you to subscribe to this light. Yes, I mean it. Subscribe not with buttons, but with your soul. Say yes to divine truth. Say yes to not skipping the sacred anymore. Say yes to letting angels handle what your hands cannot. Because what I'm about to reveal next will shift how you look at one particular person forever. God says, I showed you signs in dreams, in small red flags, and words that didn't feel right, and you felt it, but you gave them benefit of the doubt. Now I speak clearly. Their time is up and your eyes must be opened. So breathe again. Let the next part of this message enter you like fire and heal you like rain. Let it awaken the divine warrior within you. Because you are not just a gentle heart. You are a child of the Lion of Judah. Everything I have covered across this channel is now in one place. The prayers, the teachings, the daily blessings. It is all inside the Daily Miracle Manual. Link in the description. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community, seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. And no wolf dressed in sheep's clothing shall harm you again. My child, if only you could see what is happening behind the scenes, you would never doubt again. If only you could hear the whispers in the dark rooms, you would know why this message came to you today, like thunder disguised in light. You have been walking through life thinking everything is still under control, but heaven has been trembling at what has been permitted to approach you, not because you did something wrong, but because your destiny is too right. And when heaven protects a destiny this important, God often places a clear path before his child, so fear can become faith, and uncertainty can become steady action. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are meant to stay stuck in fear. You are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you. A 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. A path where each day brings you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comments below. And as you begin moving forward in faith, remain alert, because heaven is still revealing what you must recognize before it is too late. You are at a spiritual tipping point, and this message is not here to comfort you. It's here to warn you before it's too late. You are not safe around everyone you trust. The one who is trying to harm you is not just a stranger hiding in the shadows. They may be wearing a familiar smile, laughing with you in rooms of light, and yet their heart has conspired with darkness. This is not a metaphor, it is a revelation. And God says, "My beloved child, I cannot allow you to walk blindly anymore. Right here in this holy moment, let heaven hear your response." Type, "My eyes are open" in the comments. When you leave those words, you are telling the universe that you will no longer tolerate the spiritual slumber, that you refuse to be blind to the schemes set against you, and that you step fully into divine awareness. When heaven speaks, it does not speak twice in vain. You have skipped these messages before. You have ignored the heaviness in your chest. You've heard your name called in your sleep, and still you rolled over and told yourself it was a dream. You were wrong. It was me. It was the angels trying to shake you from a spiritual slumber that has lasted too long. You are not just a person living a human life. You are a chosen key holder to something divine, and the enemy knows it. The enemy has sent a person close to you as a decoy. They were charmed like perfume, but their intentions are as poisonous as a serpent's kiss. And now their name has been spoken in heaven's court. God has allowed this warning to reach you before today, not after, not around it, but before. Because the decision this person is about to make, if you are not prepared, will harm not just your reputation, but your peace, your alignment, and the miracle that's already en route. You have no idea how important your name is in the spirit world. While you've been doubting yourself, heaven has been fighting battles over your future. There have been swords drawn in your defense in realms you've never seen. Do you know what it means when God Himself says, "I order you to open this now"? It means your hesitation is no longer safe. Every second you wait, the window narrows. Every moment you push this message aside, the angelic army waiting to protect you remains paused at the edge of intervention. And let me tell you something beautiful yet terrifying. God has never missed a deception. He saw when they rolled their eyes behind your back. He heard when they said, "They're nothing without me." He noticed when they sabotaged that opportunity that had your name written on it. And still you called them friend. Still you let them close. Still you prayed for them. And it's because of your love, your kindness, your purity that heaven is moving now. God is not angry with you, beloved. God is hurt that you've had to carry so much without understanding why. That heavy feeling on your chest at night, that tightness before you enter certain rooms, that sick, unshakable feeling when certain people speak your name, that is your soul resisting betrayal. That is your spirit detecting danger before your mind can catch up. And the reason this message has been delivered in this divine hour is because the timing is fragile. The person who wants to harm you has made contact with someone else. Yes, it's deeper than you thought. It's not just envy. It's manipulation. It's orchestration. And God says, if you knew how far they've gone already, you would drop everything and run to this word like a shelter in the storm. Before today, something is about to happen that will either be a miracle or a mess. And it all depends on what you do with this message. The person who wants to harm you is trying to step into your divine space, interfere with your rising, block what is coming with false concern or stage drama. But I, Archangel Michael, am standing before you with a sword of light. And if you accept this word with your whole heart, I will strike down every plan, scatter every whisper, and expose every snake. But you must not take this lightly. This isn't superstition. This is supernatural strategy. And the enemy has been plotting this for months. Let me tell you something you don't know. The breakthrough you've been praying for, the one you almost gave up on, is days away. The miracle that's been delayed isn't denied. It's been guarded. You were chosen for something too big to be delivered casually. And the one trying to harm you knows it. They sense your glow. They see your shift, and it terrifies them. So they've tried to gather allies, tried to poison people's minds against you, tried to plant seeds of doubt where favor was growing. But God says, I will not let my child be touched without consequence. Their name is already marked in the book of exposure. And on that day when this turns around, you will look back and say, this was the moment everything changed. You're not the same person you were last year. You've evolved. You've grown quieter, stronger. Your silence has become golden. Your discernment sharpened. And it's made you a target, because wolves don't howl at the weak. They stalk the strong in silence. And that's exactly what's been happening. But now silence is over. God is not whispering anymore. He is thundering. This is your final warning before the exposure. This is your shield before the storm. And if you choose to listen, I will tell you what to pray, what to speak, what to avoid. But you must stay here. Don't scroll. Don't skip. Don't let your distractions rob you of this revelation. Your life is about to split in two directions. One direction leads to chaos. It looks comfortable. It wears a familiar face, but it is dangerous. The other path looks uncertain. It feels bold. It demands spiritual courage, but it is anointed. I'm here to guide you through that divine fork in the road. But you must believe what I'm about to say. The person who is trying to harm you is not done yet. They are preparing one final blow, one final word, one last manipulation, and it will be masked in sweetness. It will come dressed in peace, but underneath it is a trap. This is why God says, open this now, because after today, what's been whispered will become visible, and what you allow today will shape what you face tomorrow. And now I must say this part with heavenly weight. This person's name has been spoken aloud by the host of heaven. Their energy is being tracked, and their access to you is about to be revoked if you allow it. But God gave you free will. That's the holy rule. So if you choose to ignore this, if you pretend everything is fine, then you may unknowingly extend the invitation for their destruction to continue. Don't do that. Please don't give them one more inch of your life. This is your line in the sand. Seal this truth right now by declaring your boundaries in the comments below. Type, I reclaim my peace and light. Say it, write it, and mean it with every fiber of your soul, so heaven can register your agreement. Not one more night of your peace, not one more ounce of your light, because the moment you believe this word, heaven moves. The moment you say, "Yes, Lord, I receive this," the angels surround you. The sword I carry comes down, the atmosphere shifts, and the name of the one who tried to harm you begins to lose power over your life. You were never meant to see this message by accident. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine intervention. And if you're still reading, it means your soul agrees, even if your mind is still catching up. So, child, I ask you one thing before I reveal the next truth. Do not walk away from this, because what I tell you next will shake the final illusion loose from your heart, and the freedom you've been longing for will finally begin. My beloved, you have been so strong for so long. You've walked through betrayals with grace. You've swallowed pain just to keep the peace. You've been silent in rooms where your spirit was screaming for justice. But heaven was never blind. God watched when they tried to humiliate you quietly. He saw when they celebrated your delays, mistook your stillness as weakness, and whispered your name in circles you never even stepped into. And now he says, enough. This is not just another spiritual message. This is a spiritual subpoena. You are being called to see the full truth before you agree to any more silence, before you extend grace to someone who has no repentance, before you open your door to someone who is still carrying hidden knives. The person who is trying to harm you has not changed, and they are not sorry. They are waiting, watching, calculating your next move, because if you don't protect yourself this time, they'll believe they still have power. They don't, but only if you believe it too. This is the kind of season where God is no longer allowing the enemy to play behind curtains. The curtains are being pulled. The masks are falling off. Conversations that were hidden will be exposed. The things said behind your back will be spoken to your face. But you will not be alone in that moment. Archangel Michael will be standing right beside you, and the glory of God will shine so strong that they won't be able to look you in the eye. They'll flinch not because of your anger, but because of the divine fire that now surrounds you. But before that day comes, you need to prepare. You need to take this message seriously, because someone you've trusted, someone who laughed with you, maybe even cried with you, is harboring thoughts that are not of God, thoughts that wish to dim your light, limit your progress, delay your blessing. But beloved, they won't succeed, not if you fully open your heart to this divine word. God says, "Tell my child they are being watched, not for their mistakes, but for their favor." The person who wants to harm you doesn't hate you for something you did. They hate you for something you carry. They hate you because you're still standing, because you're still glowing even when they tried to bury your light. That kind of strength threatens people who have no access to God. So instead of seeking their own glow, they try to extinguish yours. And yet here you are, still rising, still chosen, still called, still protected. But now you need to be aware. God is revealing the identity of this person, not to scare you, but to deliver you. You may already suspect who it is. Your intuition has been nudging you. That strange energy around them, that coldness in their smile, the way they ask questions that feel like fishing for weakness. Yes, it's them, and it's not just suspicion anymore. Heaven has confirmed it. Their name is no longer hidden in the shadows. It has been announced in the spirit. And now, child, I need you to hear this part with your spirit wide open. The attack planned against you wasn't just emotional or verbal. It was spiritual sabotage. They tried to delay your destiny, tried to drain your confidence. They planted seeds of self-doubt in your mind so you would never feel ready to rise. They wanted you to question your own gifts. They wanted you to feel like your prayers weren't working. But the devil is a liar, and now the light has come. And with that light comes truth. And with that truth comes freedom. The reason you felt tired for no reason. The reason you've been dreaming of certain people or waking up with dread. The reason you've been feeling like you're constantly being pulled backward is because someone was pulling on you spiritually, but not anymore, because now heaven is cutting the cord. Let me tell you what happens next. Beloved, once you receive this message fully, once you allow this truth to live in your spirit, you'll notice something shift. Your energy will start to return. Your peace will start to feel natural again. The fake connections will begin to fall away without you having to do anything. God will start removing people who can't carry your blessing. The complete guide, every daily prayer, every spiritual tool, everything I've put together to help you grow your faith is down in the description. It's called the Daily Miracle Manual. Now, stay right here with me, because as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Your phone may ring less, but your soul will breathe more. People may start to act cold toward you, but it's because they can't manipulate someone protected by divine fire. And the moment you speak these words, I accept God's protection fully, a wall will rise in the spirit realm, and no harm will pass it. Take a moment right now to lock this shield in place. Drop down to the comments and type, I accept God's protection fully. Let your comment serve as a digital altar, a visible sign that you are inviting heaven's firewall around your heart, your mind, and your home. Yes, even the secret plots, even the unseen curses, even the conversations behind closed doors, all of it will fail, not because you fought back, but because you believed God when He said, I've already won the battle for you. This is your line in the sand, child. After today, you will never walk blindly into harm again. After this message, you will never second-guess your gift of discernment. You are not overthinking, you are overfeeling. And that sensitivity is not a flaw. It's the language of heaven trying to reach you. Stop apologizing for being intuitive. Stop shrinking your light just to keep the peace with people who were never peaceful toward you. Stop delaying your rise because you're afraid of who it might offend. God didn't call you to be liked. He called you to be set apart. And right now, the separation has already begun. That's why things have felt strange. That's why you've been losing interest in certain people, places, and conversations. It's not depression. It's divine disconnection from what no longer aligns with your future. And heaven is not allowing you to go backward. Now, listen to me carefully. The enemy's last strategy is desperation. They know their time is short. So, expect the one who tried to harm you to make one final attempt. It might be a text, a phone call, an apology that feels suspicious. an invitation that feels oddly timed. It might even come from someone who pretends to care just to get back in. But remember, you know now, you've been warned. You are not blind. You are not naive. You are not desperate. You are divinely covered. So when that moment comes, you'll feel it. Your stomach will tighten. Your spirit will whisper, "Don't trust this." And when it does, listen. Don't override your intuition for the sake of comfort. Don't step back into a cycle you've already cried your way out of. Instead, lift your head, breathe deeper, and know that your breakthrough will come not from people, but from God. And when God becomes the source of your breakthrough, He often places a clear path before you so your faith can become steady action. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying, the quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated, just small, faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments below. And as you take those faithful steps, remember that everything you have survived has been preparing you for the destiny ahead. You are not weak for being hurt. You are not dramatic for feeling the shift. And you are not paranoid for sensing the truth before anyone confirmed it. You are chosen. And chosen ones are always tested before they are trusted with destiny. Your heart has survived storms that were never meant for it. Your name has been twisted in places you never deserved. And still you woke up and smiled. Still you loved. Still you prayed for those who misunderstood you. And that is why heaven fights for you. That is why this message had to find you, because God is declaring a divine reversal over your life. The ones who planned to harm you will witness your rise. The ones who laughed at your struggle will choke on their silence when they see your blessing arrive untouched by their schemes. And the very room they tried to keep you out of, heaven is building you a throne inside it. But you must stay alert, stay awake. Stay in spiritual posture, because the next 7 days are not ordinary days. They are sacred. What happens between now and today is part of heaven's orchestration. You may notice sudden silence from certain people. Let it happen. You may feel unusually emotional. Let the tears fall. They are a cleansing. You may get dreams that feel heavy or confusing. Write them down. God is speaking through symbols now. He is showing you what your conscious mind was too afraid to face. He's unveiling the name of the one who has been draining you. And He's doing it not to shame you, but to free you. You see, you were never crazy. You were ahead. And those who are ahead often suffer in silence because they feel what others cannot explain. But God has had enough of you carrying the burden alone. And that's why He sent me to speak for you, to declare what your spirit already knew but couldn't put into words. The identity of this person has been exposed in the spirit realm. And now it is only a matter of time before their true nature is exposed on earth. As heaven takes over this fight for you, declare your surrender to His timing. In the comment section below, leave a simple, powerful Amen. I release the fight to God. Let this be your physical action that confirms your spiritual surrender and peace. But you won't have to lift a finger. You won't have to fight. You won't have to prove anything. Your silence will speak. Your peace will scream. And their chaos will become their own undoing. But let me say something you might not expect. You will feel tempted to forgive them too quickly. You will feel sorry for them once they start to crumble because your heart is pure. But be careful. There is a difference between mercy and enabling. God is not asking you to hate them. He's asking you to release them, to cut the soul tie, to close the portal. Because the enemy can't enter unless you leave the door unlocked. And if you answer their apology with naive trust, they will re-enter only to finish what they started. This is not a season to play kind with snakes. This is a time to let God do the separating while you do the healing. You've carried too much to turn back. Now the spiritual war has been fierce, but you are already on the winning side. And now the most beautiful part, because you opened this message, because you didn't skip it this time, because you stayed with it through every word. Heaven is releasing a divine hedge around you. It's already happening. In the realm beyond your sight, angels have begun forming a circle of light around your spirit, your home, your future. No text will trap you. No voice will deceive you. No invitation will manipulate you. You will be divinely guided in every step. People will look at you and not understand why you're glowing differently, why your eyes seem lighter, why your smile is no longer tired. It's because the warfare has broken and peace is returning. Not just any peace, but the peace of knowing you're finally protected from the one who meant to harm you. This next chapter of your life will not be contaminated by old trauma. You are stepping into anointed clarity. You will see people as they are, not as they pretend to be. You will speak less and hear more. You will attract only what aligns with your highest divine purpose. And you will no longer feel guilty for outgrowing spaces that once made you small. The spiritual release that just happened, yes, just now as you finished reading this, has already closed the gate they used to reach you. And now, heaven smiles upon you. Archangel Michael remains on guard, and God holds your hand tighter than ever. You made it. You answered the warning. You didn't skip it. And because of that, you just rerouted your future. The harm they planned will never touch you again. Not because you hid, but because you stood in truth. And the truth, as always, has set you free. Welcome to your divine protection. Welcome to your breakthrough. You're not late. You're not lost. You are right on time. You didn't come this far just to read words. You came because your soul remembered something heaven said before you were even born. You were not meant to live your whole life being betrayed in silence. You were not created to stay in cycles that drain the breath from your body and keep you doubting your worth. You are the one in your bloodline who was chosen to break the chain, to shift the energy, to cancel the curse, and the one who tried to harm you. They never understood what they were really up against. They weren't just messing with you. They were standing in front of someone hand-picked by the Creator. Someone who carries divine oil on their name. Someone whose path was prayed over by ancestors long gone. Someone with angels assigned to them. Not one or two, but entire ranks of protection. And now that truth can no longer be denied. Because today something invisible just broke. You might not have heard it with your ears, but your spirit knows. Something left your atmosphere, something that had been attached to you quietly, feeding off your trust, playing off your silence and hiding behind false smiles. It's gone now. Heaven removed it the moment you accepted this word with your full heart. And now you will feel lighter. You will sleep better. The anxiety you couldn't explain will begin to melt. The people who once made you feel small will no longer affect you. Not because they changed, but because you rose, because you remembered who you were, and because God stepped between you and the one who was preparing harm, and he shut it down with finality. Let them wonder what happened. Let them feel the loss of access. Let them sit in the silence of a door they never thought would close. You owe no explanation for your healing. You owe no apology for your awakening. You did what few dare to do. You saw the snake in the grass and didn't make it a pet. You walked away without bitterness. You chose protection over performance. And now Archangel Michael walks with you, not in whispers, but in full light. You will see signs of this confirmation in the coming days. A dream, a message, a number repeated, a conversation overheard. Don't brush it off. Every moment is heaven saying, "See, my child, I told you you are not crazy, you are covered." And now I say this as loud in the spirit as thunder. Your name is rising. The favor that was blocked is now flowing. The doors that were delayed are swinging open. Your finances are protected. Your connections are about to align. The one who truly loves you will recognize you without confusion. The things that didn't make sense will finally click into place. The delay is over. The protection is activated, and the enemy has been permanently denied access to your divine path. But beloved, please remember, this message is not for entertainment. It's for elevation. Don't rush back into routine. Don't scroll past this and forget. Let it sink. Let it mark you. Let it become part of your daily armor. Revisit it when doubt returns. Reread it when you feel weak. If you want the full guide with every prayer and lesson I've compiled for this community, check the description for the Daily Miracle Manual. You are about to enter your divine future, but remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit Out Community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Because what just happened in the spirit was real. Your energy has shifted, your atmosphere has changed, and you are no longer walking alone. Now go move forward with boldness. Look in the mirror and see what heaven sees. A warrior, a healer, a miracle in motion. And let no one ever convince you again that your presence isn't powerful. The very reason they tried to harm you is because they could already see the light you hadn't even fully stepped into yet. And now you've stepped in, and nothing can stop you. Not now, not ever. You are free. Now breathe. Not the shallow breath you've been taking while pretending everything's okay, but the deep soul-cleansing breath your heart has been waiting for. Because now that the weight has lifted, You might feel tired emotionally, spiritually, even physically exhausted. That's not weakness. That's the after effect of surviving a silent spiritual war. For so long, you've been carrying burdens you couldn't name. Spiritual weights, emotional knots, soul wounds that didn't bleed visibly, but made you question your sanity. You've loved people who weren't safe, trusted voices that didn't deserve to echo in your heart, and gave pieces of yourself to those who only wanted access to your light. But now that chapter is closed. Heaven sealed it. God turned the page, and no amount of apology, guilt, or confusion can reopen what the blood of truth has now covered. You didn't just read a message. You stepped through a door. You walked into a new realm, a space where your boundaries are divine. Your peace is protected, and your intuition is no longer something to silence. It's something to celebrate. From this day forward, you will begin to see small signs. They won't come as fireworks or fanfare, but as gentle confirmations that you are now living in alignment with your highest self. You'll feel it when you wake up and realize your chest isn't tight anymore. You'll feel it when you stop overthinking every word before you speak. You'll see it when your name starts being mentioned in rooms of favor instead of gossip, because heaven just rerouted everything. God did not allow you to go through all that pain for no purpose. He knew it would strengthen your voice, deepen your compassion, and teach you the sharp difference between love and manipulation. And now your wisdom is sharp. Your glow is untouchable. Your faith is fire. Even the person who tried to harm you will notice it. They'll wonder why their games don't work anymore, why you don't flinch, why your eyes are clear when they used to be full of confusion. Because now you see them, you see it all. And more importantly, you've returned to seeing yourself, the real you. The you who was always powerful, the you who cried but kept going, the you who never needed to prove anything to anyone. Let them underestimate you. Let them sit in rooms and assume they won. Because while they were focused on your old version, God was building a new one behind the veil. You, beloved, are the version they'll never be able to predict. The healed version, the protected version, the one surrounded by angels and aligned with purpose, the one who walks into a room and changes the energy without saying a word. Because that's what happens when you walk hand in hand with heaven. Now, let me whisper this one last time. You are not late. You are not behind. You didn't miss your calling. You are right on divine schedule. Everything you thought was delayed is still coming. Everything you thought you lost was being preserved. Everything you thought you weren't ready for, God was making ready for you. Even the relationships that fell apart, the doors that slammed, the opportunities that passed you by, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Because God would never allow someone trying to harm you to also hand you your blessing. That's not how He works. He isolates before He elevates. He exposes before He increases. He reveals before He releases. And now, because you stayed long enough, because you didn't skip, because you read with your whole heart and soul, you've been marked. Marked for favor. Marked for restoration. Marked for peace that actually lasts this time. So, as you go back into your life today, don't carry the old version of yourself. Don't pick up what you just laid down. Don't return to doors that God just locked for your protection. Instead, walk differently. Speak with clarity. Smile like someone who has been kissed by truth, and let your presence do the talking. because Archangel Michael is still walking beside you. God is still whispering in your ears, and every step you take from this moment forward is under supernatural guidance. This is your life now, a life of protection, wisdom, favor, and deep soul-level peace. Let it be so. Let it all begin. You are free. You don't need to explain this to anyone. This experience wasn't meant to be understood by the world. It was meant to awaken the part of you that always knew something greater was guiding your steps. People may question your glow. They may wonder how you survived what was sent to break you. Let them wonder. Let them ask, because the answer isn't something you'll say. It's something they'll feel when they're in your presence. You're not who you were, not even close, and that's the point. Heaven didn't save you just to keep you safe. Heaven saved you so you could become fully, freely, and powerfully. There is a divine quiet forming around your life now. You'll begin to notice less noise, fewer interruptions, a stillness in the air that feels holy. That's not loneliness. That's sacred space. That's what it feels like when God clears the stage before the blessing arrives. When distractions are removed, when pretenders walk away. It might feel strange at first. You might feel tempted to go chase what you were once used to, but don't go back. Don't reopen closed doors just because you missed the sound of a knock. Let silence speak. Let peace settle. Let heaven do what it's been trying to do for so long. Rebuild you in purity. And now in this quiet, you will hear something new. Your own voice. The one that had been buried under people's opinions. The one that had been muted by emotional exhaustion. The one that had been softened to survive rooms that didn't deserve your softness. That voice is returning. And with it comes your clarity, your purpose, your strength. You're going to start saying no without guilt. You're going to start walking away without explaining yourself. You're going to look at what once triggered you and feel nothing but freedom. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. You've spent enough time second-guessing your light, enough time trying to fix others while your own soul bled quietly in the background, enough time hoping that loyalty would change hearts that were never loyal to begin with. But now you are stepping into a season where God will make everything obvious. The masks will fall, the truth will rise, and even the people who once defended the enemy will. You don't wait for an apology. Don't look for closure from people who knew exactly what they were doing. You've already received divine closure from the one who matters. God has closed the case. Heaven has sealed the file. And what was meant to harm you has now become your heavenly receipt. Proof that you were never alone. Archangel Michael stood between you and destruction more times than you will ever know. He held back attacks you weren't even aware of. He silenced voices before they reached your ears. He guarded your sleep, covered your name, and made sure that no weapon formed against you ever finished its course. And now he's handing you the victory, not because you fought with force, but because you stayed in love, because you trusted even when it hurt, because you kept your heart pure in a world that tried to dirty your soul. So, walk forward now with clean hands, with bold eyes, with the grace of someone who knows the truth. Let the enemy see what they failed to destroy. Let your joy offend their intentions. Let your peace confuse the very spirits that once plotted against you. You are untouchable now, not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. And I say this to you with the full authority of heaven. You will not fall. You will not be tricked again. You will not carry what doesn't belong to you. Because from now on, your life is being led, not just protected, by divine order. God Himself himself is orchestrating the timing. Archangel Michael is walking beside you with a flaming sword, and angels are standing at every gate to make sure only love gets in. Today will come and pass, but you will remember this day, the day you stopped running from the signs, the day you allowed the message to sink in, the day you stopped entertaining confusion and chose clarity instead, the day you finally said, I know who I am, I know what I carry, I know who sent me. You are a child of divine fire, born for more, built for truth, covered by God. You will not break again, you will not beg again, you will not doubt again. Because after this message you remember, and because you remember, you will rise. And because you rise, nothing and no one can stop you now. And as you carry this light forward, remember, beloved, these messages continue because of people like you. We run entirely on viewer support. If you'd like to help keep this mission and these messages reaching more hearts, you can support us with a coffee through the link in the description.